Divrei-Hayamim Alef, Chapter 28. David assembled in Jerusalem all the leaders of Israel, the leaders of the tribes, the commanders of the divisions serving the king, the captains of thousands and of hundreds, and the supervisors over the property and livestock of the king, along with his sons, the officials, the warrior heroes, and anyone else who was a leader. Then David the king rose to his feet and said, "My kinsmen and my people, listen to me. I set my heart on building a house where the ark for the covenant of Adonai could remain at rest. It would have been God's footstool, and I prepared to build it. But God said to me, 'You are not to build a house for my name, because you are a man of war. You have shed blood.' However, Adonai, the God of Israel, chose me out of my father's whole family to be king over Israel forever. For he chose Yehudah to be the leader, and in the house of Yehudah, in the house of my father, and among the sons of my father, it was his pleasure to make me king over all Israel, and of all my sons, for Adonai has given me many sons. He has chosen Shlomo, my son, to sit on the throne of the kingdom of Adonai over Israel. Moreover, he said to me, 'Shlomo your son will build my house and courtyards, for I have chosen him to be a son to me, and I will be a father to him. I will establish his kingdom forever, if he uses his strength to obey my mitzvot, and abide by my rulings, as he is doing currently. Now therefore, in the sight of all Israel, the community of Adonai, and in the hearing of our God, observe and seek out all the mitzvot of Adonai your God, so that you may continue to possess this good land, and leave it as an inheritance to your descendants after you forever. As for you, Shlomo my son, know the God of your father, serve him wholeheartedly and with desire in your being, for Adonai searches all hearts and understands all the inclinations of people's thoughts. If you seek him, he will let himself be found by you. But if you abandon him, he will reject you forever. See now that Adonai has chosen you to build a house for the sanctuary, so be strong and do it." Then David gave Shlomo his son the designs for the hall of the temple, its buildings, its supply areas, its upper rooms, its inside rooms, and the place for the ark cover. Also the design for everything he had been given by the Spirit, for the courtyards of the house of Adonai, for all the rooms surrounding it, for the storehouses in the house of God, for the storehouses for the holy articles, and for the areas set aside for the Kohanim and the Leviim, arrangements for the work involved in the service of that house, the house of Adonai, and for all the articles needed for the service of the house of Adonai, lists of the weights of gold needed for the gold items to be used for various purposes, and the weights of silver needed for the silver items to be used for various purposes, the weight of the gold needed for the gold menorahs, the weight needed for each menorah and for its lamps, and for the menorahs of silver, the weight of silver needed for each menorah and for its lamps, according to the way each menorah was to be used. Also the gold by weight for the tables for the showbread, for each table, and silver for the tables made of silver, the gold for the pure gold forks, basins, and jars, and for the gold bowls by weight for each bowl, also for the silver bowls by weight for each bowl. And for the incense altar, refined gold by weight, and gold for the design of the chariot, and the cherubim, with their wings spread out to cover the ark for the covenant of Adonai. All this is in writing, as Adonai, with his hand on me, has given me good sense in working out these detailed plans." Then David said to Shlomo his son, "Be strong, be bold, and do it. Don't be afraid or become discouraged, for Adonai, God, my God, is with you. He will not fail you or abandon you until all the work for the service in the house of Adonai has been finished. See, there are the divisions of the Kohanim and Leviim, for all the service in the house of God, for every kind of work, You will have with you every man who is willing and skilled, for every kind of service. Also the captains and all the peoples will be completely at your disposal.